somebody, take that one. It's not open. I want you to drink somebody else.
What's going, guys?
Hey, Josh. So is that 90-yard throw report correct? Can you throw 90?
I said it a little earlier. That's a pretty bold statement from Ryan Flaherty. He's not too far off, but 90 is a tough task. I don't hope on throwing that, so we'll keep my arm a little under that.
Josh, have you allowed yourself to appreciate kind of the fact of 5 years ago you were asking kind of anybody to look at you, and now you're standing in a space where the whole eyes of the league and the sports
100%. I mean, a few years ago I was in junior college, so taking this all in, and it's a really surreal moment. Just kind of see, everything that I've dreamt up as a kid. It's kind of falling into place. And if you knew who I was 3 years ago, I don't think you would say this is possible. So it's been really cool.
Why is that?
I mean, I was at junior college. I was begging teams to, give me a scholarship. Sending emails out and hoping to hear back from them. And I got one opportunity that was with the University of Wyoming, and thankfully, and they gave me an opportunity, and I took advantage of it.
Josh, if you're taken number 1 overall by the Cleveland Browns, you'll be pegged to try to turn around a franchise. You've never done that before. How would you go about trying to turn around a franchise that has been the bottom of the league for a long time?
Well, I don't know, because I've never done it before. But I'd go in there with everything that I have, try to instill a winning mindset and that type of attitude. Trying to become a leader of the team, getting with the vets of the locker room, and understanding, what we needed to do to try to turn things around. A couple years ago, Wyoming went 2-10. The next year, we went 8-6, won a Mountain West Division title. So, I'm not saying it was the same situation, but I've been in something very similar. And it's football, and I love football. Everything I can do to play this game, I'm gonna do. And if they're willing to step out on the ledge and take me with the number one overall pick, I'm going to give them everything that I have.
Josh, have you gotten a chance to meet Dan Marino between the Senior Bowl and here? I know he's been around both times watching it.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet. I saw him standing at the Senior Bowl sideline one time. It's kind of cool to look over there and see him, just kind of knowing the type of success he had with the Dolphins. He's obviously one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game, and looking forward to meeting him.
What's your impression of Adam Gase in terms of personality? He's one of the younger coaches, and also his specialty as quarterback.
Yeah, I get along very well with him. I met him at the Senior Bowl and kind of talked with him the other day. He's a younger guy, and he's got a really good personality. He's a super positive guy, and I'm meeting with him tonight, so I'm looking forward to that too.
What farm did you grow up on, and what were your chores like?
It was about a 2,000-acre operation. My dad owned 1,000 acres of it. It's strictly row crops, so cotton, cantaloupe, and wheat. During the summers, helping my dad move irrigation pipe, picking cotton, picking weeds in the cotton field, driving disc tractors, whatever the case may be. It wasn't an everyday thing, and my dad kind of experienced that throughout his high school career. He was going before school and after school, and he didn't want to put us through that. So our out was sports, and that's what we did. We stayed competitive year-round to try to stay off the field as much as we can, but we did help out quite a bit.
Is it true you came here?
To improve your accuracy, and how is it coming along?
Yeah, so I'm working with Jordan Palmer, obviously with Sam Darnold and Kyle Allen down in San Clemente. I like to call it Sam Clemente. That's where he's from. So, just working on consistent footwork. Every throw that I had this past season where I missed, it was derived from my feet. So trying to put myself in the most uncomfortable position, getting back to the same base, short front stride, letting everything else follow through and sequence consistently. And, hopefully, we're getting close. And hopefully when we step on the field tomorrow and throw, people see improvement. I feel improvement, and I feel like whenever my feet are set, I'm as accurate as anybody.
Is it true you came here last year? I saw a report.
Yeah, I did come here last year. It was for this NCAA student athlete symposium thing. They kind of invited some of the top players in football, just kind of get a feel what the combine's like, kind of see the experience of some of the other guys, and at the same time talk to players that were going through this thing. So it was a really good eye-opener for me, and I'm super pumped that I got to see last year what was going to happen and kind of seeing it through now.
Do you plan on attending the draft?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What attributes do you think separate you from the other ones?
Obviously the size. I think I'm the biggest guy here and weigh the most. I'm not particularly proud of that, but the things you see on the field, the arm strength, the mobility. And a thing that I pride myself on is my competitive nature. I'm a type of guy who the only thing that I want to do is win, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. I don't care how we get it done. As long as it gets done, that's kind of how people value you and kind of rank you among other quarterbacks, just how you win.
Do you and Sam have a friendly rivalry going on about, who's going to go number one, and, that sort of thing when you're working?
We don't really talk about it that much. It's been super great to get to know him. Obviously, we're living together and throwing with him, and kind of in that aspect, yeah, we want to throw better than each other when we're out in the field. And but he's one of the greatest guys I've met. He's we've become really good friends, and it's just really cool because obviously he's USC guy. He's had all the media, and he knows what he's doing. He's a very good quarterback, and any team that gets him is going to be super lucky. At the same time, we're also throwing with Kyle Allen, and he's throwing throw for throw with us, and he's just as good as anybody I think here. And it's been a super blessed type of opportunity to go down and throw with Sam and Kyle and work with Jordan Palmer every day.
Josh, how much is Fireball kind of like really behind you in this? Like, what's the vibe like there when you go home about how much they're in this process with you?
It's awesome, and I get texts and calls from everybody back home just wishing me luck, and sometimes it's a little crazy to get back to every single one of them. I can't thank them enough for everything they've done. But the support's been tremendous. I wasn't able to play in San Jose State this year, and I think people knew that going into it, but we still had, hundreds of people from Fireball there. It's about a 2.5, 3-hour drive. And I think if I was playing in that game, we would have had half the town there, which is, just unbelievable that the support that they have for me. And every time I go home, it's just super awesome to see the kids smiling, and the sports teams are doing exceptionally well. My sister just won their semifinal game. They're playing the district championship tonight, so I can't wait to see the outcome of that. I'm super pumped for her and just the whole town of Fireball. That I'm super glad that they're on my side.
Josh,
what do you want to show?
People make a big deal about you playing at Wyoming, lesser competition. How will that translate to the NFL for you? How do you think about it?
You see a lot of smaller school guys go on to the NFL and have success. Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, for example. Carson Wentz would have been the MVP this past season had he not gotten hurt. The transition from year 1 to year 2 was exceptional for him. I was able to talk to him last year. I haven't talked to him much this year, but just knowing that we played in the same system, obviously people like to compare me to him, and I look at that as a compliment. He's a fantastic football player, fantastic quarterback, and I take those highly that people put me in the same sentence as him because he's a really good one.
What do you want to show at the workouts?
Say it again.
Do you believe you're the best quarterback in the draft?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I don't mean to say that in a cocky way, but I think every quarterback should think that. If you're not thinking that you're the best quarterback in this draft, you probably shouldn't be here. Everybody does things well in their own aspect, and we're all different. We all have our pluses, our minuses. But if you don't have the mindset that you're the best quarterback in this draft, you're not going to fare well in this league.
John, if you would go number 2 to the Giants, you get to work, learn from Eli Manning. You also have to sit with him. What about that scenario?
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I've obviously met Eli Manning at the Manning Passing Academy. He's a super reserved guy that he knows his stuff. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Beating Tom Brady it's a tough task, but he's done it twice in the Super Bowl. Knowing that organization, has the mindset of winning, and that's what they want to do, would be, a blessing. If I got the opportunity to go there and sit behind him for 1 or 2 or even 3 years and just learn everything that I could, grabbing him whenever I had a question, and hopefully he would answer it for me, and just seeing what he does on and off the field would be, really big for myself.
What do you want to show in the?
To convince teams that you've improved that accuracy kind of at this stage of the process?
I don't think so. Obviously, I'm going to come out and throw tomorrow, and hopefully I get to have a good showing at Pro Day. I plan on it. Hopefully that kind of eliminates some of the questions, but without live bullets and live action coming at you, we're not going to find that out until a game time situation. So that whether that be in mini camp or any of those events leading up to this season, but I'm extremely confident in myself, and we're working on it, and there's no doubt in my mind that we'll figure it out.
What do you want to show in the workouts here at the combine?
Obviously that I can run well, I can jump well, I can throw well, and when I get in the meeting rooms, I can show how much I know football, how much I love football, type of person that I am, and hopefully coaches can get the grasp of that.
Josh, you plan on attending the NFL draft here? Does that relate to an expectation expectation that you're going to be taking number one? I mean, you expect to be taking number one, you think you're the best quarterback here?
You know, I think that there's kind of a misconception with the whole thing. You know, sometimes the best quarterbacks aren't the guys that are taking number one. You know, I think depending on the situation of what that team needs, that's the quarterback that they want. And you can look in the past few drafts, you know, it doesn't always turn out that the number one quarterback is going to be this great player who, you know, leads your team to multiple Super Bowls and ends up in the Hall of Fame. That's just not how it is. You know, getting drafted is only the start of your NFL career, and that has no impact on how you finish it. It's, you know, going to be determined on how hard you work after you get drafted, and I, you know, intend to work extremely hard.
Do you want to go to Cleveland number one?
I mean, it's every kid's dream to be drafted number one. I think Cleveland's got, you know, things going in the right direction. They got all the pieces, a lot of draft picks early on, a lot of cap space to go get guys in free agency. So I definitely think that it's a good spot to be in if you're fortunate enough to be taken by them, whether it be at 1 or 4. You know, I definitely would embrace that opportunity to be the number 1 overall pick. Obviously, that every quarterback would love to be that. You know, it's no different for me.
Are you okay with sitting if you pick by Cleveland and ask you to sit in your first year?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely okay with any scenario that's getting thrown my way. You know, I've had a lot of adversity throughout my college career and high school career, so, you know, sitting would obviously be different. You know, it's something that I've never done, but obviously getting in practice situations, you're not going to get many reps and start developing a plan how you're going to continue to get better with those limited reps, and that's staying after practice, grabbing somebody from the scout team, throwing for an extra 25, 30 minutes. And then that's, you know, learning as much in the offense as you can in the offseason, and, you know, leading up, helping whoever the starter is, and at the same time learning yourself.
Do you plan to attend the draft?
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
Was the second half of the Senior Bowl almost like a relief to you? There were reports that the first couple days of practice didn't go as well, and then you start connecting. You left that?
Yeah, I mean, that was live football, and we're playing against some of the top competition, you know, in the country. So it was a great opportunity. The Reese's Senior Bowl, you know, put on for me. I was super blessed and excited to attend that. You know, it's a place where a lot of really great football players have gone and shown their skills and gone on to, you know, have successful careers. You know, but I was definitely relieved that I, you know, performed the way I did. You know, I expect to perform that way anyway. So just to go out there and kind of, you know, complete the ball at a higher percentage and show everybody that, you know, I've been working on things and things are improving.
How was working with the Broncos staff there, and how can you see yourself potentially fitting in with that group?
You know, they got a great coaching staff, and I say that, you know, with true words. You know, they got the right things going on. Obviously, they've won a Super Bowl within the last few years. They know how to win. And, you know, if I was fortunate enough to land there, whether it's at 5 or wherever they were to draft, you know, I think it's a very good spot to be in. I think they got a lot of playmakers on offense. Obviously, that defense is going to be really good for a long time still. And the coaching staff has the right mindset, and I think I would, you know, be a good fit there.
Josh, have you met with the Giants?
I'm meeting, so I haven't had any meetings up until this point. I got 9 tonight, so we're going to knock those out. It's going to be 2 hours straight. Looking forward to it, talking ball with all these coaches and all the new faces that I'm going to see tonight. But yeah, I talked to them actually at the Senior Bowl. You know, Coach Shermer's a super bright mind. I like him a lot. I was actually got the chance to talk to him in Mobile. Sat down with him for a little bit. You know, he's a really good dude, and you know, if I was fortunate enough to play under him, I'd be super stoked.
What's next for you after the Combine as far as your training and your pro day?
So going back to California for about a week and a half, start developing a plan for the pro day, then probably traveling to Laramie about a week in advance, just so I can talk to everybody, see my teammates, and kind of make sure that you know, there's no distractions on the day of March 23rd, which is my pro day, and then going out there and, you know, throwing the ball the best I can.
Growing up, 2 years, you kind of built a profile for yourself, and now you're kind of harshly criticized with everything you do. What's it like being a lightning rod? What's all this like?
Yeah, it's cool. I don't really pay attention to you guys very much, to be honest, and I'm sorry about that, but I don't read anything you guys put out. My mom and dad call me daily and try to send me links and articles and stuff, and I tell them to delete Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff because it's just gonna, you know, make you more anxious and stuff. But you know, it doesn't bother me very much. I'm from a small town. went to a small college. There wasn't too much attention on me, and that's kind of how I'm going to play this throughout, hopefully my career.
Josh, one of the guys that would be in your spot wouldn't be so okay as you sound about potentially sitting. How much of the patience, I guess, that you have and the maturity to understand you might be in this situation comes from what you went through being in JUCO and then having to kind of wait for your chance in Wyoming?
Well, obviously the competitor in me wants to play right away. I want to go out there and prove myself. But I understand that, guys who sit for a year and have the opportunity to learn and kind of soak in NFL daily life and understand how to be a professional football player, when they start that next year, the year after that, they step in, they know what they're doing. They're not rookies when they're stepping on the field. They've seen game reps, whether it's in the preseason or throughout practices and stuff like that. But from the patient side of things, I kind of learned that from my dad. He's the greatest guy in my life that I've ever met. Just seeing how he handles himself, and my mom can bust him up a little bit, but he flows with the punches, and he's just the most selfless guy I've ever met. So that's kind of where I've learned how to be patient with all of this stuff.
Josh,
We're good. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.